Montana Citizens Elk Management Coalition had a small event at Capitol Sports in Helena this morning, proposing that $200 million in Montana's budget surplus goes towards stewardship work in rural Montana. MTN's Ryan Berg has more on their proposal.
Montana Citizens Elk Management Coalition gathered at Capitol Sports to ask lawmakers in the next legislative session to set millions of dollars to create a permanent trust for wildlife and conservation.
The state of Montana comprises 94 million acres of land. It's a big state. 60 million of those acres are in private lands. Our wildlife exists on the habitat of those 60 million acres.
The coalition, which is made up of nonprofits and wildlife and conservation groups, want lawmakers to set aside $200 million for the trust. The trust would fund grants that would be used for improvements to public and private wildlife habitats across the state. They say it was modeled after a Wyoming program that's funded over 700 projects since 2006.
You would be able to take the interest off of that trust each year to use for improvements in the land productivity, whether it's public, private, tribal lands. People could apply for grants.
Projects might involve making lands more drought or wildfire tolerant, or fighting invasive species.
It would generate about, between $4 and $8 million a year that could be used for just bettering the productivity and the habitat and the landscape of Montana.
In June, the Legislative Fiscal Division released an extensive report that lays out the expected surplus, $1.7 billion by the start of the 2025 biennium. It would be up to the lawmakers at the Capitol to decide which projects get a cut of that money, with groups like the Montana Citizens Elk Management Coalition starting to make their pitches to lawmakers now.
I think that's really important, to be able to support a lot of these local groups and a lot of different kinds of organizations in work they're doing, again, ultimately to benefit the land and to benefit Montana.
Reporting in Helena, Ryan Berg, MTN News.